Professor Chennupati, your endowment fund you started on you and also your wife's name to support the younger students from the developing nations. Why you started it and how it is running now, and are you accepting any external contributions to that fund?
Thank you, Sri. But basically, it's very interesting that, which we get lots of students from Europe to come as a summer scholars or otherwise, the otherwise master's thesis scholars or so. They write to us and then saying that, I am from, University of Marseille in France or otherwise, University of Augsburg in Germany or, some university in Lund University in Sweden or so, and Technical University of Eindhoven in Netherlands or whatever the university is, they want to come and spend some time with us and then be able to gain the research experience and be able to finish off their, means either the summer project or otherwise a master's project or so. Mainly, they want to come because of the fact that they want to explore Australia, which is a beautiful country, and also improve their English, and then also that be able to travel after finishing their the project or so. That's why they want to come. And we are very happy to have them because they don't ask for any financial support, and we only provide the lab support and then also supervision or so, which they come and enjoy. But whenever we get requests from any students from the developing countries, it could be India, or Indonesia, or other developing countries, that we say no to them because of the fact that without funding they cannot come, and we do not have money to be able to support them. So that's where I was feeling guilty for a long time. And so then when I got some funding for being an honorary professor in various parts of the world, and so then I discussed with my wife and I said, look, this is not the money which I was expecting because I'm already still getting the salary from the ANU, my university. And how do we make use of this one? Of course, also if I put that money into my bank account, and half of it will go for tax. And then we said, look, why don't we use this money to really help others, particularly when the students from developing countries, probably the impact on their lives will be much more significant to come to the ANU and be able to access state-of-the-art equipment and facilities and be able to work with their leading experts in the fields and various fields of physics, for example, rather than a student coming from Sweden or France or Germany, and relatively speaking, the similar facilities and similar expertise is available as well. So my wife said, why don't we go for and do that one sort of thing? Then we had, at that time, we had about $140,000 or so. So then I'd gone to the head of the school and then said, look, I want to really create this Chennupati and Vidya Jagadish Endowment to support students and young scientists from developing countries to come to ANU and spend some up to 3 months to be able to collaborate with anybody in ANU physics. Our director liked that idea so much, that really this is a brilliant idea, Jagdish. And how about I put $60,000 to add to your contribution to this particular endowment, because its endowment is located in the university. And then I gone and spoke to my dean, and then my dean said that, oh, this is a brilliant idea, Jagdish, and I want to put $100,000 from the college funds. And then I'd gone and then seen my vice chancellor, and then he said he liked the idea so much, and then he said he'll put $200,000 from the university funds. And so
Wow.
suddenly, this money, which is $140,000 with after paying tax, it would have been a $70,000 in my bank account, suddenly became $500,000.
Yeah.
So that's how we launched that endowment. And then also my school director said that, any donations you and Vidya make, and we are happy to match, and we continue to make the donations. So we donated about $500,000. In fact, when we did the launch of this one, some of the friends and colleagues have donated some funds, and some of the former students donate some funds. Some of the colleagues, in fact, when I was officially transitioned to emeritus professor at end of 2024, some of my international collaborators, donated some funds to the endowment, and so they're open for anybody, and then now it's a more than $1 billion fund. So that generates about $50,000 annually income, and then we support about 4 students and 1 young scientist from the developing countries to come and then spend some time at ANU physics. And then we had students mainly from India, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and some young scientists as well. And then my university liked the idea so much. My dean of science said, Jagdish, I like this idea so much. I know that your endowment is for the entire any developing country, but we would like to target India and Indonesia. And then the ANU started this so-called Future Research Talents Fund and a scholarship program to be able to support students from India and Indonesia. So covering all aspects of science. So astronomy, biology, chemistry, earth sciences, medical sciences, engineering, and computer science and physics and science communications, and so broad spectrum of areas, all aspects of it. So then, for example, in 2024, we had 90 students came from India plus Indonesia, 75 from India, and then 15 students came from Indonesia. Only 4 of them are supported by our endowment. And again, I tell them, I'm not expecting anything from you. Only thing I'm expecting is when you become big, you help others. So that's why, again, good recirculates in the society. So that's the only thing. Of course, some of them have gone back to Caltech and Cornell and Georgia Tech and the various places. And of course, as an individual, you can only do a certain extent. But university taking that idea and then expanding that one to a larger number of people has been very, very satisfying for me.